Okay, 30-day notifications. I still have people, well, not necessarily right now, but when we get caught up, who don't wait for 30 days. They mail off the community board notification and they mail in their application all at the same time. Sometimes we were holding them if it was close. Then it got to be when we were caught up with data entry, I'm not going to hold an application for 3 weeks, waiting for the 30 days to transpire. So those will be disapproved once clerical gets caught up again. Leases. What information does the SLA require in a valid lease? We need the landlord name, the tenant name, and it must match the application. That's the name on the application. The address of the premises must match the premise address on the application. The use. What are we using it for? Grocery store, restaurant. The term, it should have a commencement date, or it should say from the time that the application is conditionally approved, issued, something. And how long will it run for? I need a monthly rent schedule. How much are we paying per month? There should be a default clause, and it should be signed by both the tenant and the landlord. Out-of-state arrests. Huh? What happens if they don't pay? Out-of-state arrests should be submitted with a disposition from the court and a letter from the attorney that advises what the equivalent conviction would be if the crime occurred here in New York State. Very seldom do those come in. But that should be something that we should be getting from the applicant when they apply. Photos are required at the time of application, regardless of whether they're ready to open and operate or not. Alcohol should not be shown in the photos if your applicant did not buy business from the guy before him. It's amazing how often we get applications where 9 months has transpired since somebody's operated there and there's a fully stocked bar. So we only can assume that they've been operating without a license at that point. We always need a photo of the food prep area or the kitchen. We're finding in New York City, the wording on the newspaper affidavit, people are tweaking that. It should be what is on the section in the application. You shouldn't be changing that in any way other than the parentheses part where you're supposed to tell what your applicant's applying for. Corporate changes. Frequently, the percentages and shares listed in this section are incorrect for the principals we currently have. A lot of times we see that the attorney that originally filed the application is also now filing the corporate change. Why you don't know what the percentages of shares are, I'm not quite sure, but you should refer back to that application to make sure everything matches. If it doesn't match, you're going to get a deficiency. If all existing principals from the corporation are being removed and new people are coming on, we need a signed statement from those people stating that they're going to abide by the current method of operation that's in place. And this is for renewals too. If you're not sure, you're taking over this file from somebody else, the applicants, this is the first time they're hiring you, you can go to our public query on our website, and you can look up who the principals are. At least you can have all that information. Same thing for renewals. You know, if you're not quite sure who's on the license, the information provided there is the exact same information that I'm going to see if I look it up for you. So that is a good tool to have and to know about. Alterations. You need to submit 2 diagrams, one beforehand and one what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. A lot of times we get one with everything on there, and then we got to figure out what's the old and what's the new.